Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna. Welcome to Stamp It Like It's Hot, where the first Saturday of the month we do a different prompt of stamping, and then I'm also going back to February, follow a sketch February. This is day 14. It was by scrapfriends.com. It was from 2012. Stamp It Like It's Hot. We are embossing today, and I let the Stamp It Like It's Hot girls know I have not embossed for the last 15 years. I think I must have even given my embossing powder away at one time. So I have brand new embossing powder that I've never used before. And I'm using this Bo Bunny stamp set. It's called Say Cheese. And I've got the negatives, right? Or the film strip, however you prefer. And that is what I am stamping with. And then the embossing powder is by Wow. It's embossing glitter, which I'm not a big glitter person, and maybe that should have been a warning to me. It's White Twinkle, and I just watched here's my heat gun, but which I is not new. It's from a long time ago, but I just learned on a video today. There's O for Wow embossing powder. There's O's and for opaque, and then there is T for translucent. So this is O for opaque. And it was hard for me to tell when it was done. It didn't, when I'm used to embossing powder and it does that magical kind of turn, I didn't get that. So I think it's all embossed, and it turned out pretty. So be watching for that. So I did a couple, but then I soon realized that I'm going to need to know where my picture is going before I do all the embossing. So I just went into my scraps, and the first two pieces of paper that I took out of the pattern section was the octagons and then the circle paper, and then I found this this other yellow and pink paper to go with it. So I took the two papers that were 12 by 12 and I made the little strips for the top and the bottom. And then I will take a little bit of each paper and make the background paper to layer up. You'll notice that on the sketch it looks like a 3 by 4 inch photo, and mine is 4 by 6. I didn't want, it is of my family. It's the way I had it printed. I didn't want to make it smaller. The photo is from Easter last year. My husband was just getting over COVID, so we were being careful. He wore his mask, and since I lived with him. Since I live with him, I was wearing a mask as well. And that was at church. So these papers I'm taking, I'm making about 5 inches tall, and I don't remember how wide they were. They might be 4 inches wide, maybe not that wide. And then that little piece off the left is kind of looks like a torn thing, and since I had these cut out of octagons, I decided just to go with the octagons cut like that. Then I'm going to lay them on my mat, and I will glue them together with the photo. Now I'm keeping in mind that there is a doily there, so I didn't glue the right side of the photo to the right side of the paper, but I do glue the left side of the photo to the left side of the paper, and I glue the three papers together. So they'll still move as one unit, but that I would be able to get a doily in there. I did not put a doily in there. I don't know that you would see much of the pattern paper, so I went doily-less. But I do glue everything else together. Once I do get them all glued together, I will move it as a unit, and I will put it onto the white paper with the two film strips on it, and then I will take a pencil. Now this is something I don't often do. I'm not so precise, but I kind of lay it out, and then I use a pencil to mark behind where the photo is going, so that I'm not embossing all this stuff and you won't see any of it. I do make a mistake and I have to erase a little bit of it, but other than that, I'm not being too careful, but I'm staying pretty well behind the photo with the pencil. Oh, and as I've said in my videos before, about 20 years ago, I was close to my heart demonstrator. I'm not sure. We didn't call us makers back then, but I do have 3 Versamark clear pads like this, and they were all pretty juicy. So I chose the most juicy one, and here I am just stamping down those, I always call them negatives, but people might call them film strips. And my kids probably don't know what negatives or film strips are, so there you go. Oh, this lovely dish is from Hobby Lobby. I love raccoons. That is why a raccoon is on my Life on Paper on YouTube. And this probably wasn't the best choice of a plate to dump my glitter into, because it's stuck all over the poor raccoon's face, but it was a good vessel to use, and I'll have to still clean that up. With it being glitter, it's a mess. So the next time I buy embossing powder, if I do buy embossing powder again, it will not be with glitter. I just thought, I don't know that I really read the word glitter. I was just more intrigued with kind of the silver color. I should have went with the standard black. If you don't have any other colors with embossing, just go for black. But I do as I say and not as I do, right? And learn from my mistakes. Not that this is a mistake, because honestly, I would have had a hard time using this photo with a black negatives slash film strip, because it is in those pastels. There's a little bit of brown in the stickers, and there's actually a little bit of the brown. It's a light brown in the papers, but I would have had a hard time with black film strips. So there you go. So I kind of do them two at a time, trying to see, is that enough or not? And I decide I'm going to do two more, and I just do it the same way. Stamp her down, pour the glitter embossing powder on top of the two. I didn't want to overlap them, so it's hard to see it. You know, it is hard to see. It doesn't have any pigment or anything in it. It's clear, because then you can use any color, and even if you see through it, you won't have a problem. I'll pour this on quite generously, and then I will dump it off into Mr. Raccoon Dish, and then I will give it a tap to get the rest of that off. And if I still have some stuff on there, I'll use my brush to kind of flick it off. And then I use my hot glue gun. And that's really all it is to it. And like I said, with that clear Versamark, you can take any color over the top of it. Now, you could probably over black. I say this, and I'm not really sure because I'm not a big embosser, but even if you took black. Well, so this is, with this particular one, though, it would be difficult to use because it is kind of see-through with the glitter. So, you can't just do any color with black ink. So here we go. Here the photo is not quite glued down yet, but I'm going to get those borders on. That is, I've got my film strips down. I'm happy with that. And I layer the hexagon strip, and then I was kind of, it wasn't perfect because I didn't want to overlap the film strip on the bottom, but yet, you know, it shouldn't be perfect either. So this did work out well. And I just layered then this pink and yellow one over the top of the hexagon instead of next to it. And I do that on the bottom and the top. And then, oh, and I'm still kind of cleaning up glitter. And I think I will be cleaning up glitter for a very long time. I actually took a baby wipe to the, once I was done embossing, to the mat to get some of that up, and that was helpful. Here's my sticker. So I have a collection from Echo Park. It is called Hello Easter. It's from 2018, and I really haven't broken into it. I think I used one sticker off of it. And I went with the pastels thinking I'm going to use these stickers. I did not break into the papers because I just thought, you know, hey, use your pieces parts up first. Just use the scraps up, and I think it all goes well together. So I was very excited that I didn't tear into a big 12 by 12 piece of paper. Instead, got rid of some of these scraps. They match pretty well for not really comparing. There's no orange in my papers, which is totally fine. And it's all really kind of pastel, so I like the way this turns out. Now, my Hello Easter is my title, and I didn't want to put it where it was up on the left. And Meredith has a cell phone in her hand at church, so it layered rather nicely right over the cell phone on Meredith's lap. So I was happy with the placement there. And then I kind of a little bit sort of maybe just a little bit, went with a diagonal design a little bit, so that, you know, and I was trying to go more with church rather than Easter bunny. So you see I have the lamb down there. I did throw in a chick. I did throw in some Easter eggs. And in the garland, there's even carrots and bunnies. But it wasn't blatantly like Easter bunny, I hope. Even with the bunny in the title. I used the little stickers as kind of like embellishment dots. I got this little flower on there. And then I will get another... I think I throw a flower over there, but also a Easter egg. There was like one lone flower left on the sticker collection, so I wanted to get that off in there, and on the paper. And there's that flower I was talking about. I'm having a hard time, like, where exactly should that go? I've got my clusters of 3, so I stick it next to the Easter egg. Then I'm gonna get these Nouveau drops out because they're always sitting on my desk. And I was going to tell you what color they are, and now I can't find them. Oop, here they are. So I put those in the embellishment clusters. It is Jewel Drops, and it's translucent. And what else did I... Oh, here's my orange spray. It is Carved Pumpkin from its Distress Oxide. I sprayed that. And then you see the 3 hearts up in the left corner, so I put more dots there, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check everybody else that's playing along. There's a playlist down below. Have a fabulous day, and please come back and see me again soon.